I made the mistake the other day of turning on the news before I had my cup of coffee, and I was accosted by 4 separate news stories of people railing against each other. They were really slamming each other. They were angry. But it made me think about that beloved hymn that Christians sing, "Angry words, oh let them never." It also started me thinking about how important it is for Christians to recognize that angry and passive-aggressive and otherwise abusive speech has no place in our life. However, we all know something. We all know that face-to-face interaction is quickly becoming replaced with online forms in our society. Furthermore, although social media can be this really super helpful tool to help us connect with people in encouraging and good ways, we know that often what happens is people let fly from their fingertips that which they had never say in person. So, as Christ's people, from a Christian perspective, how are we to handle our interactions on social media? I have 4 things that I think would be helpful. First, treat people on social media like actual people, because they are. I mean, unless they're a bot, a software application, chances are there is a real person on the receiving end of your post. I mean, we may not have met them, we may not know them at all, but they're living and breathing souls, and thus precious to God. And so since the audience on social media is actual people, that means as Christians we are to love them as the same way we love ourselves. That's what Jesus teaches in Matthew 22:39. Second, remember who you represent. Sometimes, at least in church circles, we hear the expression, bringing reproach upon the church. And the idea is to give Christ and his people a bad name through some sort of public wrongdoing. Of course, every sin is regrettable. They're all bad. But some are public enough to create harm to the reputation of the local church that you go to, or perhaps the cause of Christ himself. So when posting on social media, ask yourself questions like, would Christ actually approve about what I'm about to put on the internet? Am I building someone up? I mean, how am I looking out for the interest of others? Do I really regard others' opinions as more important than my own? I mean, this is the stuff of Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. As Christians, we need to remember that we represent Christ. We also represent his people, and so our interactions on social media need to reflect that truth. Third, we need to be mindful that we will give an account to God for every idle word that we speak. In Matthew 12, verse 36, Jesus warns us about that very thing, saying, "I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give an account for every careless word they speak." So sure, Jesus warns us that we'll give an account for the words we speak, but do we really think he'll make an exception for the words we type? Fourth, and finally, let's make sure that the fruit of the Spirit is manifest. It's evident in our interactions on social media. I mean, apples, oranges, super easy to identify, but so is the fruit of the Spirit. I mean, it's easy to tell when the Spirit of God is leading someone and when he's not. So when posting on social media, we all need to make sure that the fruit of the Spirit, I'm talking love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. We need to make sure those things are seen in what we communicate. Social media can be this great tool if it's used for God's glory. So let's remember to honor him as we interact with others online. Thanks for watching.